So, as you see in that video, the individual at Burger King was having a tantrum hissy fit because they are the epitome of what you don't want to be as a person. I mean, if you lack that much discipline and you lack that much self-control and you're that emotionally unstable without any emotional discipline or self-restraint, then you just are a failure, more or less. But anyways, this video I'm focusing on the topic called choosing your battles. I'm not saying that the Burger King individual was in the wrong or anything like that. This is going to be a fair critique. Both of these individuals could have handled the situation better. Obviously, I'm on the side of the Burger King person. However, that's not to say that this could have been handled in a different way. Because at the end of the day, you have to choose what's important. You have to choose your own battles that you want to participate in. Just because you're invited to one doesn't mean you have to participate in one. Likewise, you have to use judgment call, discipline, self-restraint, self-control. Don't sacrifice your well-being for a soulless corporate company, such as Burger King, for instance. So, from what I was seeing there, this guy was having a hissy fit over his drink not being right, or whatever the hell. And it looked like to me all this hissy fit, crybaby loser of life was going to do was go and get himself a drink by himself, so, you know, he could get the right one, I guess. If you want to get it right, you got to do it yourself type mentality. And of course there's the policy of you're not allowed to be back there as a customer, and I can understand that, and most people are going to respect that, so you generally don't have to enforce that. But if someone's already that upset and making their way back there, and generally speaking, just from the mannerisms and just from what I saw, he clearly only intended on just getting his own drink and then probably heading out. And I honestly, in that situation, would have let him. He would have got his drink, and I would have been like, all right, well, you know, you can leave. Because it's just not worth it to defend a policy or a company or whatever, a business, to that degree over something so inconsequential, so small. It's like, you got to pick your battles. Let him get his little drink and he'll be on his way or whatever. He'll be pissy and moaning and bitching and whatever, but you won't be putting your well-being at risk for Burger King. Burger King! I mean, I can understand that you probably really take pride in your work or whatever the case is. I can definitely appreciate that as well, because I take pride in anything that I do. I don't care if it's making a YouTube video or painting or stocking or construction, martial arts, etc. I take pride in it. I'm glad of what I get done and what I can do, but at the same time I also am logical about stuff. I will know if it's worth it or not, because at the end of the day I know which battles are worth participating in, whether I'm invited in them or not. So in this situation, I genuinely believe that he should have just let the guy get the drink and then be on his way. I'm pretty sure he would have got his drink and then got back behind, you know, where you're supposed to be as a customer. Unfortunately, the employee at Burger King was trying to enforce this policy and not let him do that, and you really, really got to make sure that you're willing to go all the way if you're going to participate in that battle. Because as I've explained in my Walmart stabbing video, combat proficiency and combat competency are like the cornerstones of what you need if you're willing to defend a policy. Because if that person got wild, got crazy on you, you would have been helpless. All because you wouldn't let them get a drink. But if you had the training in combat proficiency and experience and competency in combat to defend yourself, and knowing if you needed to go all the way or not, then so be it. I can understand, because you know that you are able to defend yourself accordingly. But if you are not trained and you're not experienced in combat, then I highly, highly discourage people from defending a faceless corporation like that. Because if someone, wants to take it up to the next level and start fighting you, or even try to pull a weapon on you or something, you gotta be able to handle the situation appropriately. You don't want to be someone defenseless, not knowing how to properly fight when things are getting out of control like that, especially when it's something so trivial as a drink at Burger King. So yeah, if that guy was getting crazy and you don't know how to fight, you would be fucked. And for what? Defending Burger King? I think I'm making my point pretty clear here. See, if it was me, even with all my combat proficiency and my skill set in martial arts, I would still let him just be like, alright, get your drink and get out of here, kind of thing. I'm not going to put my life on the line, my well-being, or have to force myself to engage in combat over fucking Burger King and someone wanting to get a drink on their own. It's just not worth it. It's not a battle that I'm going to participate in. I'm choosing not to partake in that battle. People have to start using more common sense like this. So I think I made my point pretty clear at this point, and I hope people kind of learn something from this, Your life is more important, and your well-being is more important than any fucking job or job title. Alright? Okay. Until next time.